What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, November 21st, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the busiest lady in the business, Andrea Renee.
What's good, Greg?
Not much. What's good with you?
I like this combo you got on today.
Now, again, I'll stress this. It is not a sponsorship, but it's Stitch Fix. You can still use, I think, stitchfix.com/Greggy, but I liked it so much I bought it and kept it going.
I also have worn some of my Stitch Fix outfits here on the show.
When we hired you and you started showing up here clowning me out in outfits, I had to keep going Stitch Fix. I need to bring in new shirts, new pants as well. See,
I never wear
the grayish pants.
Those are some nice slacks.
Still the filthy Converse, but yeah.
But what's nice about them is that they look crisp, but they also have that casual, cool feel.
They do. I rubbed them on Tim's face yesterday.
You're balancing it well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You don't want to go too business.
Exactly. I can wear this with t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm all fine. Yesterday I walked out and I was in the producer/seducer shirt, kindafunny.com/store, and these pants. And Jen's like, I like this. I like these pants a lot. I think maybe not a black t-shirt. And I just said no, and I just walked out.
Yeah, I'm with Jen on this one.
I hear you, but like I don't look good in colored t-shirts, so I wear the black t-shirts. You know what I mean?
That's not true.
Yeah, when the colors show all my curves, my many curves, trust me, black's the way to wear it. It hides everything. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
You're one of these
As someone
people,
who buys clothes for on camera frequently,
people.
you got to think about these things.
You do have to think about it, and if you don't, you're just lost out in the wind there blowing around.
It's true. You're buying the wrong types of patterns, and then they moire on camera, and then you have to change.
That is the worst part, right?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to you. For a number of reasons, of course, but I'm excited that the catchphrase "What's good, Greg" has taken off, and we have our first question that made it to the document starting that way.
Oh,
Instead
amazing.
of a "What's up, host? How you doing? Good to see you." What's good? I like that quite a bit. If you didn't know, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about before answering your questions, reading your bad PSN names, giving you perspective, and having a good time with you, the best friends. If you want to be part of the show, you need to write in to kindafunny.com/KFGD. Then see if your question gets read live if you're watching on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Remember, we don't... here's the Kinda Funny Games Daily siren. We don't check the chat while we do it. We're making a polished podcast. Instead, if we get anything wrong, it's your job, live viewers on Twitch, to go to kindafunny.com/you'rewrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or listening on podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get the show, thank you so much for getting it. We love making it for you. It's great to be your best friend. Remember, though, today is our Friday. Thanksgiving here on Thursday in the United States, so we're taking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Kinda Funny Games Daily and all the Kinda Funny live programming will be back Monday morning. All the stuff like the podcast, that keeps going. Don't worry about it.
It's Fun Time Tuesday.
It is Fun Time Tuesday, the best kind of Tuesday. Right now for housekeeping, the Andy Serkis interview about Planet of the Apes Last Frontier is up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, and podcast services is under the Gamescast banner. As well, over on youtube.com/kindafunny, there is a vlog Kevin made of us detailing our LA trip, me, Jen, and Kevin floating around LA. We're actually recording another Gamescast this afternoon. This is going to be on patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Just a buck. You can watch us record it at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Then remember, PSX is coming up. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening PSX weekend for us. Stuff I still can't talk to you about. However, I can tell you Sunday night, 6 o'clock, Portillo's meet and greet in Buena Park. But there'll be plenty of other opportunities to see us and hang out with me, Joey, and Andy, and Jen, and Eric, the photographer. But until then, no stuff. But most importantly, remember, it's that time of the day. Break out your phone. Break out your computing device. Hold on. Face lock on. Yeah, okay. Get in there and go to Google. Put in trending gamer vote. That pops up there. Click on Andrea. Click submit vote. There you go. That's how you vote.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we do it.
Your guys' support has meant so much to me. I really appreciate you helping me get the word out, and for all of the best friends who've been tweeting to me and writing messages on our Facebook wall. And it's been the positivity I can feel, and I really need it right now. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
No, I mean, we want to win this for you. You know what I mean? Aside from the fact, even if you weren't working with us, we'd be out there campaigning for you, because obviously you're amazing and you're awesome, but you deserve the recognition. And I've told you before off camera, right? Like, what's good is doing what we were doing is Kinda Funny. And I remember for me, that first year of finishing up Kinda Funny and getting the honor of winning Trendy Gamer of the Year, like, that was the perfect end cap to that year. Like the craziest year of my life. And I can't speak for you, but this has been a pretty crazy year for you as well.
It's been a very crazy year for sure.
And so, I mean, I think that it's easy, you know, for haters out there, as they always are on the internet, to be dicks about whatever, the Game Awards or this, and doesn't matter, and it's, you know, blah. Like, I've considered campaigning. People are like, oh, are they trying to fucking rig the election again? It's like, no, we're trying to win this because it actually matters to us. It's a big deal.
And for the record, because I get Google alerts sent to my inbox, and this video came up about my nomination, and the guy who made the YouTube video said something about how, oh, I don't know how she got in there. Clearly some politicking went on. Just so everyone out there watching or listening knows, the nominees for all of the categories for the Game Awards were voted on by a jury of news outlets, influencers, streamers, and international outlets as well. You can see the entire list of who the jury members on over 50 outlets across the country and the world on the Game Awards website, and that's how the nominees were put forth. There was literally no politicking at all.
Sure.
I didn't even like message Jeff or anything. No. It's not like I have an in to like fast track myself to the ballot. But for people who are wondering, how did the nominees, including other category nominees, like how did PUBG get nominated for Game of the Year? You might be asking yourself, like I am. It's because these outlets all apparently cast enough votes to get it on the ballot.
I mean, the short answer to that guy is fuck them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Fuck you for asking that question, or not even asking the question, but acting like there's some shenanigans behind the scenes. The real answer is somebody who did nominate you and nominated Dr. Disrespect, and I'm not saying but I voted for and Steven, was the fact of like, for me, trending gamer, even before I was nominated and won it, was the idea of like who's had like the breakout year in games, who's had in terms of coverage, right? Like who's gone above and beyond. That's why last year I was stumping for Danny, because I thought like No Clip was so amazing and everything he'd done. Now I know No Clip not amazing. Danny not that amazing. No, okay.
No,
but it was like
garbage.
This year, of course. Like I mean, you took it to another level. You took your career to another level, and that's what's always been, not for me. Not sad, because that makes it sound bad, but like looking at you and knowing how talented you were, but always seeing you float around freelance, right? Like being a nomad is awesome and really cool, but it doesn't build you an audience. It doesn't build you a community. It doesn't necessarily get you the recognition you deserve, because no one's sitting there able to be pointed to one spot to see what you've done.
True. And I mean, that's certainly something that we have struggled with when we launched What's Good, and continue to struggle with, you know, as far as, you know, building a community and kind of starting from scratch. But it's been a lot of learning experiences for me. And it's been, while very challenging, also very rewarding in a lot of ways. Yeah. So,
well, I hope you get it.
Thank you.
So,
I do too.
Desmera, aka the Flannel Death, she writes in and says, "Hey gang, PSA. Just informing everyone, you can vote for your pick for trending gamer. It's Andrea Renee. Come on. Not once, but twice a day. Using the Google search option is tied to your Google account, and using the Game Awards website option is tied to your Facebook account. So now you know. Let's get those votes in. Thanks for your time, Mara, aka the Flannel Death." Now, see, here's the thing. Mara corrected me. I cut out her correction because she's like, oh, you're saying it like Mara, like from DC. What up, DC? And I was like, no, I'm not. And then I just did say Mara a bunch. Mara. See, what throws me off is I went to school with a girl. I'll leave her name out of it, but her last name was Mara. And I haven't said it in years, I guess. So I just haven't, Mara, Flannel Death. Vote twice. Remember, we're not here to poke or prod you the next 5 days, actually. So you got to keep it up, right, Joey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks to John Drake for reminding us every day to vote.
He made a bit.ly link too, right? Isn't it vote Andrea Renee? Vote Andrea Renee?
Yeah.
Bit.ly / vote Andrea. Just do the two things we did too, though. Anyways, for now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. That was a good one. That was a saucy beat to it. I like that one, Joey. 2 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen?
A quiet day as we lead up to holiday break. Quiet day as we then wade into controversy and hearsay. Apparently, maybe the Plants vs. Zombie creator was reportedly fired by EA after rejecting pay to win for Plants vs. Zombie 2. This is a rumor that had been kicked around for a while on the various message boards. IGN put it up with actually some quotes and stuff asking for things, and then Jason Schreier's followed up. I'll kick it to Andrea then. But to give you the synopsis, Edmund McMillan, of course, Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, went on Alex Laura B's Roundtable podcast. There he recounted this story that George Fan created Plants vs. Zombies at PopCap. It goes on to be this huge success. EA buys PopCap in 2011. EA then wants to use a, quote, pay-to-win model and in-app purchases for Plants vs. Zombie 2. Spoiler alert, they did. That happened. Everybody remembers this. Why are there microtransactions in this game? Whatever. Fan said he didn't want that, and then EA fired him. IGN then says, IGN reached out to Fan after watching the Roundtable podcast and speaking with McMillan via email, and Fan said he's going to release a brief statement on the story tomorrow, which is today. Andrea?
So George Fan tweeted, regarding recent rumors, it is true I was laid off by EA/PopCap, and also true that I was against making PvZ2 a freemium game. That's all I'll say on the matter for now. Jason Schreier continues his story on Kotaku and says, some saw this as a confirmation of McMillan's story, but a closer look at Fan's tweet makes it clear that he is not drawing a correlation between getting laid off and being against making Plants vs. Zombies 2 free to play. Now, Fan did not respond for requests for elaboration. However, two former high-level PopCap employees both told me different stories entirely. Fan was let go, they said, as part of a larger set of layoffs in August 2012 that left 50 PopCap employees out of jobs. During these layoffs, PopCap decided to close its office in San Mateo, where Fan had worked with two other people. The decision was made by PopCap's management, the sources said, and it came months after discussion and debate. In short, those sources said Fan's ethos was an indie game developer conflicted with the new corporate structure of EA, which had purchased PopCap in the summer of 2011. So I'm going to jump ahead to one of the conflicting reports. A third PopCap employee, Alan Murray, told a similar story on Twitter. Wow. Hey, Edmund McMillan. I was the producer of PvZ2, and that story was not even close to the truth.
Dang.
It's a bummer that something false like this came out secondhand. I'm happy to chat offline. Cool. Since this picked up some traction, I should state the facts that I know. I was the lead producer from January 12 to launch in July 13, referring to the years of the game. About 18 months. George was never involved during the time I worked on the project. He was working on a different game, which was super fun, but it never launched. George was unfortunately part of the layoffs in August 2012, but I know none of the details surrounding his departure. In October 2012, there was a change in the franchise leadership that mandated a shift to the free-to-play mobile. Despite concerns about the design change, I'm proud of the work me and my team did. George created a great game that we built upon, and it was sad to see him go. I'm excited for his new endeavor and wish everyone the best of luck. In other words, back to Jason's article, there were no cartoon villains at EA cackling maniacally and firing anyone who refused to make their games pay to win. EA might be a multi-billion-dollar publisher whose interests lie primarily in making as much money as possible, but this was a nuanced, complicated situation involving multiple sides and perspectives, as always.
Thank you, Jason Schreier, as always. This was the thing. Like, I saw this story, today's Tuesday only? Jesus. So I saw it over the weekend, I guess, percolating. And it was that thing of like, all right, I hate reporting on rumors on the show.
Right.
When it is. But when IGN said they were going to have a statement, I was like, all right, cool. It's worth pointing out. That way people think that know what's happening and learn to look for it. But that's even better than that. Yeah, I think it's just as they can't get out from the Battlefront cloud they've created for themselves or whatever. Everyone's looking even more to
and like I said on the show last week when Gary and I hosted, like, people just love to hate EA, and they've made a lot of missteps this year on a variety of their games, and they just are in the crosshairs right now. And so having this story come out of the woodwork, though, from several years ago feels like an unnecessary dig, because I'm like, well, there's really nothing to be done about it now. So what are you doing? Just continuing to wag your finger at EA?
Well,
like,
that's
how
what was
dare
interesting about it in the IGN article where they were quoting Edmund from the podcast. He had a thing of like, basically, I'm paraphrasing, of just like, this is a story that's I've known for years. I'm surprised no one's ever picked it up, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's never been picked up, right? Because it is hard to substantiate, let alone the fact, what do we gain from that? Right. It would have been interesting. It would have been the smoking gun, because that was always, Colin's thing with Plants vs. Zombies 2, of just like, I would have gladly paid you for this game. Why are you making me go through these cooldowns and waits or try to encourage me to spend money?
I felt the same when that game came out. That was actually, side note, the video that I did my Hot Pepper Gaming episode on.
Oh, really?
Plants vs. Zombies 2.
Rest in peace, Hot Pepper Gaming. Why, Vernon? Why end it? Game grumps, Jesus. Number 2, Resident Evil Revelations is not coming physically to Europe. This is via GameSpot. Resident Evil Revelations and Resident Evil Revelations 2 are coming to Nintendo Switch on November 28, but it's only now we're learning the games will not be appearing on store shelves in Europe. Instead, the region will only receive the titles via the eShop, with their physical versions remaining exclusive to North America. Publisher Capcom indicated to GameSpot that releasing a boxed version of the games in Europe would not be viable. Quote, Capcom has to take various factors into account when deciding what format to deliver our titles to our fans, reads a statement from the publisher. These can include, but are not limited to, overall production costs, manufacturing times, distribution, and first-party regulations. In the case of Resident Evil Revelations, we've found that unfortunately it's not viable for Capcom Europe to create a physical version of the title on Nintendo Switch for our territories. However, we will be making this available as a digital release, end quote. Even in North America, the game's box edition isn't quite complete. The cartridge contains Resident Evil Revelations, but you'll have to download Resident Evil Revelations 2 separately. Not much to add. Just there's the news for you. Perspective on that? All right. If you were looking forward to Resident Evil Revelations, there you go. I don't know, you're one of these physical people. If you were wondering where the news about Animal Crossing is too, it's going to be up next. Because where are we going next, Andrea?
We are going to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how much Tim struggled with that yesterday. I would figure he would have it memorized by now.
Well, no. It's honestly one of those things. Tim's not on the show as much as you'd think he would be, you know?
I was listening to it while I was doing my hair, and I was like, come on, Tim, just keep going. I was like saying it out loud with him.
It's the very, but you figure it's for you, it's muscle memory. Gary's getting there, of course. We got to whip him into shape. Danny was never great at it, but he's got that Irish memory. For me, reverse the roles one day and ask me, and I'll have no idea. And I wrote the damn thing. I can't.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Well, when we come back on our next show together, you can kick it to me and we'll see what happens. Out today, Planet of the Apes. Last Frontier is on PlayStation 4. It's a PlayLink game. I think it looks awesome. I haven't had the chance to play it. However, I talked to Andy Serkis about it. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames or Gamescast on iTunes.
I have played this game.
How is it?
It is excellent.
Yes!
So what's great about this game is that, of course, has beautiful animation because it comes from the Imagineering Studios. Obviously, Andy Serkis really kind of did a lot of innovating in motion capture technology. And so what's awesome about it is that it looks beautiful and it really plays like a playable cinematic feature film.
And that's, if you're unfamiliar with it, because I think, hold on, actually. No, yeah, I'm just going to talk to fill it up because somebody did write in.
Okay, so I got to, while you...
Ross writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, hey guys, with Planet of the Apes Last Frontier being released today, I was surprised how little buzz there is around it. At the time of writing this, I have seen no reviews for the game, and the only press I have seen is Greg's interview. I was excited for this game, but now I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. There should be a period there. It would be promoted much heavier if they believed in the game. Curious what your thoughts on the game were. Keep up the great work, Ross.
So the reason why you probably haven't seen much promotion is because it originally was supposed to launch earlier than it did. So they pushed
it. Did leak too, right?
Yeah, so they pushed the release date back. If you guys remember a little while back, it accidentally published on the PlayStation Store. Then they quickly pulled it down because there was some problems with the game and they wanted to get it fixed. And also, what's tough about this game is one of those games that falls into a category of it's really difficult to kind of market because it's not a traditional game. This is really more like an interactive story. And it's so much so that there's not it's not even like a Telltale game or like Life is Strange, where those are both kind of very interactive narrative walking sims. This is very much just you have your phone, you choose dialogue options in specific scenes, and that's it. There's no puzzle solving, there's no moving around the world.
It's just a choose your own adventure game.
Exactly.
Movie or
exactly.
book or
it's like reading a choose your own adventure book, but a movie. And what's great about that experience is coming out right now, it's like a perfect thing to sit down over Thanksgiving and play with your family, because when I spoke to the head of the studio back at PAX West earlier this year, he said one of the things they really wanted to make sure to do was to make this approachable for people who don't play video games, which is why the PlayLink interface was so appealing to them, because you just hold your phone, you tap a button, which anybody can do.
Yeah.
So I think that because of all of these different factors, we haven't really seen a lot of marketing. And that's really a shame. I mean, obviously I haven't played it since it's been launched, so I don't know how the final version plays, if it's buggy, if it has glitches or anything like that, or how the story arc goes. So I'm looking forward to seeing some coverage of it and actually playing it for myself. But from what I experienced, and I played like a solid 45 minutes of it.
Oh, damn.
It looked beautiful. The story was great, and it really gave you some really challenging moral dilemmas. And what was cool about it is that if you play with you and 3 other people, so 4-player, whoever the vote wins. So
it's like hidden agenda, right? When you're playing story version. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's from the announcement of this game that came out of left field. I think it was an IGN exclusive. it sounded like they were nailing it. In the footage they did have, or the screenshots they did have, obviously, like you're talking about, it's Andy's company and it merged with the developers. And so it looks like the apes from the movie. It looks stunning. It looks awesome. And then the fact that it was like, you know, it's already in talking to him about it, it's already this story you can wrap your head around. It's the way to do a movie tie-in of, all right, cool. It's nothing to do with Caesar or the core cast. It's them in the middle of the country. Food's getting scarce, so they're starting to run into each other. You play both sides, so you get to know both sides. So then when you have to make a choice that you know is going to affect somebody, it actually resonates and there's a meaning to it. I can't wait to get home and play it. I started the download when I got my code this morning. But yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm super stoked to get into it. So we'll see. Shadow of War Slaughter Tribe Nemesis expansion is out today. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 joins the Sega Forever collection on phones today. And then, in a surprising twist of fate, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp came out today, even though it's supposed to come out tomorrow. Joey, you're playing it right over there. Are you enjoying it? I am. Yeah? Oh, she's working on her microphone. It's coming up.
It's fun. I haven't put in that much time yet, but I really like it so far.
Yeah, I started it this morning as fast as I could, even though I totally fucked myself with two-factor verification over on the Nintendo thing because I didn't have the Google Authenticate. Doesn't matter. I'm in it. I'm playing it. I'm having fun with it. I don't have like... Here's the thing. I don't have full-on thoughts on it, obviously. I still haven't even gotten glasses for my character because I'm a monster. And people, Fobwash on Twitter is making fun of me for not having anything set up at my campsite. You can go to hell, Steve. What I can say about it, though, is it's exactly what I want from a mobile game like that, where I was in the car today, got into my ride to work, looked down, and then the next thing I know, she was like, all right, so here? And I looked up, I'm like, oh, fuck, we're here already. Yeah, no, sorry, this is me. And I gone. The whole, you know, my whole commute to work just fucking gone. I was like, yeah, all right. Seems simple, seems stupid, but that's Animal Crossing. All right, cool. I'm going to make friends. I'm going to go give you the fish you want or all this other stuff. You have no affinity for Animal Crossing, correct?
None.
You're a monster. You're supposed to like Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? David Scott writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, half news, half question. What's good, Greg and Andrea? As an excited Animal Crossing fan, I randomly decided to search the game on my iPhone this morning around 8 a.m. And to my surprise, there it was. It's live, and I hope all the best friends download and create characters now. My question is, how excited are both you and Andrea? And if you've already created characters by the start of Kinda Funny Games Daily, did you pick for your campsite natural, cute, sportsy, or cool? Thanks for all you guys do. Good luck on Trending Gamer, Andrea. I vote for you daily.
Thanks, David.
I went with cool for my campsite. Joey, what did you go with?
I did too.
Yeah? Also, Did you buzz the sandwich guy up?
There was no one there, so I thought it was a package.
No, sandwiches are supposed to be down there somewhere. You go look into that. I went with cool. Why? And now why? And it doesn't matter at all. I think it's like the first couch they give me will have like a very specific thing to it.
Okay.
Why has Animal Crossing never grabbed you?
That's a great question. There's something about the art style that I don't really find particularly intriguing. Not that it's bad. It just is not like I don't look at it and go, ooh, I want to play lots of that.
Sure.
I also have never really played Animal Crossing at all.
Yeah.
And this game to me, I told you before we started shooting, it kind of smacks to me of Miitomo.
Yeah.
I really think that everybody and anybody and everybody is going to be playing this over the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
And then I think the drop off is going to be swift. I think people are going to be like, it's too much time. I don't do this and I don't want to keep doing it. And then it's done.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to be posting photos on Twitter and Facebook and everyone's going to be talking about it. So inevitably, to do my job properly, I'm going to have to download this thing and try it out.
Sure.
Just so I can be part of the conversation.
Gotta be part of that conversation.
But I really just have no desire to play this game at all.
Now, you play more mobile games than I do. I feel like when a mobile game like this infiltrates, right? Huh? No, sure. Hi, I gotta open you for you. Sorry. So we're getting ready to go off to vacation, so we're having sandwich day here. But apparently sandwich day is lost at sea. No, I feel like I'm gonna drop off of this for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same thing where it's how Pokemon Go went for most people, right? Exactly what you're describing, where it was this huge event. And I think it lasted longer than most people expected.
Oh, I mean, Pokemon Go lasted it's still going.
But I mean for like where it was like we were walking on the street and people were just randomly passing me. True.
I mean, and the reason I compare it to Miitomo is because I think Pokemon Go really capitalized on the group element of it, being able to go out somewhere with people or meet people
Sure.
and make it like a social experience. Whereas Animal Crossing is a social experience, but it's one you're doing privately.
100%.
Right? So that's why it felt a lot more like Miitomo for me, where you can still interact with people in the game. You can take photos. You can customize your character. You can pick up prizes and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's just constant amounts of work. And I don't know, have we gotten any reports yet on how it is on battery life on your phones?
There was a guy doing an AMA on our subreddit who had been playing the Australian version. He made it sound like it was okay, like it wasn't destroying things.
That's good. I would
Yeah.
hope that by this point, Nintendo
figured
would
it
have figured out how to optimize for
Sure.
iOS in particular. I don't know how bad it was for Android users with Miitomo, but I just remember that just like killing your battery.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. For me, these first, few play sessions are going to be testing those boundaries of like, so what can you do here? Because like right now I'm still going and seeing every character, and like when you get into their space, it is super small and compact. So it is a shake the tree, get the pears, do this thing. What do you need? Okay, come to my house, see this. I'm still in those introductory missions of how it's going to go, but we'll see. It's for me personally, and I know there's people who are crazy in Animal Crossing. I always enjoyed Animal Crossing, but it always was a very surface level experience, right? Of, okay, I'm going to plant these trees and arrange my house and do this thing. And then Tom Nook eventually wants 4,000 more bells. I'm like, all right, you can go to hell. I'm not doing this anymore. So, I started exchanging my friend codes with people through DM. I got Reichert in there and Amaris, and I'll go see them and see what they're up to. But it'll be an interesting evolution, but it is just a time waster. But that's what I want out of a game that I'm going to play on my phone.
True.
Otherwise, I'd have my Switch out. You know what I'm saying? Also out today, Gear.Club Unlimited on Switch. Yeah, none. Letters Splatter on PC. Pure Mind on PC. MXGP3, the official motocross game on Switch. Super Beat Exonic, Switch. Unbox Newbie's Adventure on Switch. River City Rival Showdown on 3DS. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney on 3DS. Monster of the Deep Final Fantasy 15 on PlayStation VR. Planet of the Apes we already talked about. Rec Room on PlayStation VR, which I have heard great things about. I need to actually try it. It's a whole bunch of like mini games and pool, and you can play with other people, and I'm like, all right.
All right.
Dead Synchronicity. Tomorrow comes today. Jesus, on Switch. Okay. Ernog Unlimited on Switch. World of Final Fantasy on PC. And then there's an update to Madden out today as well that does a whole bunch of stuff with like perfect kick and whatnot. But if you're a Madden fan, I'm sure you'll go look at the patch notes. New dates for you. Let Them Come is coming to PlayStation 4 on 12/5. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is getting Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Venom on December 5th. On December 1st, Xbox Game Pass is going to add Gears of War 4, Darksiders War Mastered Edition, Sherlock Holmes The Devil's Daughter, This War of Mine The Little Ones, Casey Powell Lacrosse 16, Mega Man 10, and Mass Effect. Now, put a pin in the Xbox Game Pass for deals of the day. We'll get to that in a second. Battlefield 1's Turning Tides DLC comes on December 11th. Splatoon 2's next big update, this is from Kotaku, drops on November 23rd, adding 4 battle stages, a new salmon run stage, 4 hairstyles, an increased level cap, fresh tunes, and more. Then Street Fighter 5's... Oh, hold on. I'll talk about Street Fighter 5. That was all that Splatoon stuff's coming. And Shredberg writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "Hi, Greg and Andrea. This morning, Splatoon 2 announced huge updates, bringing a ridiculous amount of content for the low price of absolutely free. This update has Splatoon fanatics like me overjoyed. The game is on my short list for Game of the Year, but it understandably has been drowned out by some of the amazing games of 2017. My question for you is this. Does this update do anything that would make you want to jump back in? Is there anything this game can do to get you back in? Thanks for taking the time to read my question. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Shredberg." Did you play Splatoon 2 at all?
I did.
Will this get you back into Splatoon 2?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I think I'm getting close to wrapping up some of these giant big games that have come out in the
Where you
last
at with
month.
Origins? Where's the Assassin's Creed story at right now?
So I'm level 30.
Jesus.
So I still have 10 more to go before I can do these trials. I tweeted at Ash off Ismail, the game director, and was like, "Can you guys put some trials out that for slow pokes like me that haven't gotten to level 40 yet?" I definitely want to finish that game because I love it so much. But I wrapped.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
Joey, don't be watching your Stranger Things 2s over there, all right?
No, I was trying to figure out how to close apps on your phone.
I finished up the Frozen Wilds over the weekend and Horizon, and I absolutely need to sink more time into Mario. But once I'm through the month of November,
Yeah.
I'll have time for
Blackstone.
Destiny 2. Curse of Osiris. New
Can't
details
wait.
just came out.
Yeah.
Hot off the press. And then I would definitely love to play more Splatoon 2.
Gotcha. But you'll be up on that Destiny.
Yeah.
I'm 2 trophies from the plat.
Well, and I downloaded the new Paragon update because I haven't played Paragon.
Let it go.
In a hot
it's
minute.
done.
No,
Andrea.
I'm not
It's
letting
done.
it go.
They changed it. It's not the same game you love anymore.
It's kind of true.
I mean, I touched Splatoon 2 single player for a second. And I was just like, yeah, I still don't really care about this. Not that it's bad, just not for me.
Yeah.
And so I think their DLC sounds awesome, and it's a great big update, and I think it'll bring back the people that actually really dug Splatoon 2, like Andy Cortez, who went as an inkling for Halloween or whatever.
Squid Kid.
My apologies, everybody. All right, put down your pitchforks. Street Fighter V holiday costume packs is coming soon. A total of 10 DLC costumes will be released next week, 4 of which are holiday-themed outfits for Colin, Alex, Cammy, and Menat. Is that right? Manat. Alex's new outfit has him don a Santa hat and coat, while both Cammy and Manat costumes feature cat ears. All 10 of how holiday festive cat ears. All 10 of the new DLC costumes will be available on PS4 and PC via Steam on November 29th. You can purchase each of the outfits individually for $4.
For the record, that's just how I say it. That might not be how you actually say it. I'm looking it up now. Because this is the thing about these fighting game characters.
Yeah.
We all like grew up with them back before we really like had before people were nitpicky about how to pronounce things. Like,
it's because your group of friends pronounce it one way.
Ryu and Ryu, for example.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know until I actually worked on a project with Capcom.
Yeah.
That it was supposed to be Ryu. Because for me, I was like, oh, duh, it's Ryu.
I mean,
and then Capcom was like, no, actually, it's not.
For old people like us that grew up before podcasts and videos everywhere, you read EGM or Game Pro and you read it, you made up your own pronunciation and you moved on. And when it was like me, where I was reading these and then having no friends that were into games that much, I was pronouncing it as nobody. So then when the chat rooms came around, I was reading how you said it in a chat.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I fucking moved here and people were like, oh man, you love PSP a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's great. And like, what are you playing? I'm like, oh, Lumines. They're like, do you mean Luminous? And I'm like, do I? I mean, I guess that's a title that makes more sense for this game than Lumines, but yeah, that's what we called it. Final new date for you. Beamdog, a studio made up of ex-BioWare developers, this is via Kotaku, is releasing an enhanced version of the classic 2002 RPG Neverwinter Nights. No real date for you on this one, but just a heads up that's happening. Meanwhile, for deals of the day, Xbox Games Pass is just $1 November 17th through the 27th. So get in there and try that if you want to. Thomas writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, deal of the day. For the next 48 hours, Brutal Legend is free on the Humble Bundle store for all of us PC dorks. It's nice of them to give us something to play along with our Excel spreadsheets and Minesweeper. Beyond, love the show. Keep fucking that chicken. Love from Scotland, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Then It's Dave writes in and says,
it's that Dave.
Oh, that Dave. It's that Dave writes in and says, hey, Greg and Andrea, just wanted to mention a deal of the day. And that is Kind of Funny merch is going to go on sale Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I heard Nick mention it on the morning show yesterday and thought you might want to mention it here. If you plan on buying a shirt like me for PSX, wait and get it then, or be a baller and just buy it now. Love the show. Happy Turkey Day. And congrats and good luck, Andrea, on Trending Gamer. You got my vote.
Thank you.
Much love, Dave, a.k.a. It's that Dave. I forget. Joey, did we say for one of the days of PSX, this is Wear Your Kind of Funny
Sunday.
shirt? Sunday, everybody wear your Kind of Funny apparel. Or buy 3 shirts and wear it Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'm
conflicted. If I wear my ladies San Francisco Bridge Kind of Funny shirt, or if I wear the Games Daily shirt, which is unisex. Unisex.
Well, there's multiple days of PSX.
I know, but I gotta wear a What's Good shirt.
Well, there's 3 days of PSX.
Technically, there's only 2 days, Greg.
Friday's Showcase, Showdown.
Special presentation?
Kickoff. Sean Layden with a t-shirt game. I don't know what it's going to be. But there's that night too, all right? I would say wear the fitted tee.
Okay.
People know your Games Daily. Don't
That's
worry
true.
about it. Yeah, it's fine. Time for reader mail. This is where you write in to kindafunny.com/KFGD. Hey, everybody. Joey, I need my phone because this is where it kicked into my head. We're actually sponsored again this week. I had it yesterday. Need it for today, of course.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Postmates just didn't deliver our order, so I put in a support thing.
Okay.
They're like, we're sorry, we're refunding you, so I put in the same order.
Okay. So what happened? The guy didn't even bring food over?
There was somebody there, and I buzzed him in, and he never came up. And then I checked all the stores downstairs to see if like someone had delivered food there.
Yeah. This is we're recounting lunch. I can never tell if these mics will pick up that stuff, but all right, well, fine. Don't worry about it.
So yeah.
Man.
Text, let me know, and I'll go hand.
Postmates always messes up everything.
Right?
I stopped using them.
I
Not to get off on a tangent to everybody listening to the show, but
People love a good tangent on the show. Don't worry.
you can find my rants about them on my Twitter page.
If you're interested in more Andrea Renee rants, you can go.
I've gone exclusively DoorDash now.
Oh, really? Okay.
But we also live in a part of the country where a lot of these apps exist.
Yeah.
There are many people listening or watching that have no idea what we're talking
They're
about.
just
They're like,
stranded.
what
They
is
got
that
nothing.
thing? So
These are what? Okay. I hate it when you go to click on a thing and then it opens up another thing that wasn't there 2 seconds ago. And you're like,
yeah, it's annoying. Or if you get a
notification.
notification that comes in and then you accidentally click on the notification, you're like, no, I don't want to. No.
Yeah, that is annoying. You know what else is annoying? Mattress shopping. That's why this show is brought to you by lisa.com/kindafunny. I don't even need to look at it. Jen and I, when we moved in, tried to buy a mattress. We went to mattress shops. Let me tell you, I did not like this experience.
You didn't have any fun at all?
No, I just wanted to be done. I think we were going somewhere fun afterwards. It's like, can we just, and then there's like 30 mattresses to try and it's all stuff. And,
The hard sell that the guys on the show
this
floor
guy's
give
over
you.
walking around trying to upsell me, do all this stuff. And what I did is I just went online and bought one off the online because it's 2017 and it's awesome. Joey, your mattress is a Lisa mattress.
It is. It's awesome.
Do you
it's
really
super
like
comfy. I really do.
Because again, like the whole deal is that you order online, they send it to you in the compressed box, you unroll it, it poofs up, it's magic, and then you got an awesome mattress.
You guys carried it up for me
We
and then
did
carried it back down for me.
We didn't. I think Kevin and Cool Greg did. Which
Yeah,
is
I think
good
Andy
enough.
helped out too.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, it actually wasn't that heavy to get it out of my car into my apartment.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you just like cut it open and it like magically inflates and it's really comfy.
The Lisa mattress is 100% American made and delivered compressed, as we already said, to your door. It's thoughtfully crafted with high quality materials to create what Lisa calls their universal adaptive feel. Its 3 foam layers provide support, pressure relief, and cooling that adapts to all body shapes, sizes, and sleeping styles. As with anything in life, luxury does not come cheap, yet it's something we all desire, especially when it comes to a good night's sleep. The Lisa mattress compares with brands that cost thousands more, which is, in the old days, I would have heard this and been like, yeah, right. Then I went to these mattress shops and they're trying to get you.
Oh no, mattresses get real expensive very quickly.
Don't let it get you. Lisa's cheaper because they don't believe in the unnecessary extras. Lisa's prices start at just $525. And for an extra $100 off, you can go to lisa.com/kindafunny and enter the promo code kindafunny, all one word, to get that $100 off. That's Lisa, LEESA.com/kindafunny, promo code kindafunny. Hip hip hooray. Now it's time for reader mail. Elza writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD just like you can and should and says, Dearest Greg and Andrea, related to games in general, what are you thankful for? Happy Thanksgiving, each and every Elza.
That is a great question, Elza.
2017, what are you thankful for in video games?
I'm thankful for online interactive experiences that allow me to connect with my friends and my family that I don't get to see every day. For example, earlier this year, I played a lot of Paragon online with my sister and my good friends, the Chesters, who live on the East Coast, who I don't get to see very often, particularly the lovely Debbie Chester, who lives very far away and doesn't get to come out to all these gaming conventions all the time. So that allowed me an opportunity to also meet other people and form a group of people where we routinely got together, and we have a massive Twitter DM thread where we all talk about Paragon and we'll talk about other games sometimes. But having that connection with people and meeting new people through that connection is something that is very unique to the video game culture and video game space, unlike other forms of media, because it is so interactive. So I'm very thankful that there are platforms like that that allow me to connect with people.
I'm thankful for Marvel Heroes Omega. It's closing, which is super sad. But I put it on again yesterday just to see, like, I haven't gone back since the update. I'd heard everything's just, one in-game currency, just one. And you can get all the costumes you have for one and all the stuff. And I was running around and played it again for like 45 minutes to an hour and a half last night. It was just like, man, I'm going to miss this game. And it's one of those, I'm thankful that the game came out. I'm thankful that all the developers who put in hard work. Gazillion, of course, great job with it and everything else like that. It's sad and bittersweet to see it go. But I'm glad at least more people are jumping in to play it right now. The universes were packed with people last night. I did toy around. Enough people have been poking and prodding me about, like, you gonna try to get the platinum? And I'm like, nah. And I was like, you know what? And I popped out a few easy trophies last night. And then I started doing the research in the Excel spreadsheets of leveling. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I got this.
You're like, nope,
I don't got this in me.
happen.
I'm just trying to find time to get these 2 Destiny trophies, let alone that. I'm thankful for Destiny 2. I love that game quite a bit. I guess, the theme of 2017 for Greg Miller is I'm thankful for online video game, multiplayer stuff that I never would have played before. Friday the 13th, Marvel Heroes, all these games that are Destiny 2 that I'm playing with other people, and I'm using Discord, and I'm trying to set up dates, and I'm asking Jen, like, what do we have planned tonight? Like, do you mind if at 8 o'clock I get on with Tony and Trish? She's like, nah. I'm like, oh, it's good. What a time to be alive with video games.
Absolutely.
We get hung up on all the bad shit, but they're so good right now.
It's been so amazing, I think, for quite a few years now, with 2017 really bringing it into focus, just how diverse the landscape is for the types of video games that are available, really for every type of gamer. I mean, if you like one particular genre, I mean, it probably got at least a dozen or more new games just in that genre this year.
Yeah.
If not, a lot more. And it's easy to get wrapped up in the controversy and negativity, but I really hope that, especially on a week where we're all kind of taking the moment to like stop and think about what we are grateful for in our lives, that people think about the positive experiences that they've had.
Yeah. What are you thankful for, ladies and gentlemen? Figure it out in the world of gaming. I don't care about your parents. And then tweet at those developers. Thank them for their game and their hard work for the year of 2017. Will Newsom writes in kind of in the same vein, but kind of not. Stick with me. Kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, I'm sorry to add another question into the bag about EA. I promise not to ask one on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But with everyone kicking off about Battlefront, rightfully so. Yeah, right. We're not even going to be live. Rightfully so. Are they getting a pass with Need for Speed? I've seen quite a few stories that aren't getting mentioned about them also changing the microtransactions in this game. No doubt they are doing this because of Battlefront, but instead of crucifying EA for getting it so wrong with Battlefront, shouldn't we at least acknowledge the fact that they also tried something similar with Need for Speed? Thanks for everything, you guys and gals. Thanks for everything, you guys and gals are great. And I'd love to be inside Kevin at some point.
Okay.
Okay. That's clearly a reference to something. I don't think he just means sexually, but maybe he means both. And either way, we'll see how this marriage goes,
This game really flew under the radar for a variety of reasons. I think the release date was pretty poorly timed because there's just so many like tentpole franchises that released around it, which is ironic considering that Need for Speed is one of the top selling franchises of all time. When you look across the spectrum of decades of gaming, it's really up there with some of the biggest franchises that we know. But this game really just like released and nobody was talking about it, and then when they were talking about it, it was all bad.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who reviews games put out his review on Facebook, and I saw the headline, and it just like my heart sank because I'm such a Need for Speed fan.
Yeah.
And I have the code for the game that EA sent to me, and I've been very hesitant about getting started because of all of the negativity surrounding it. And I don't think that they're getting a pass. Ghost Games has been public about the changes that they're making. A story just came out today saying that they are going to be, tweaking the payouts to rep and the bank for finishes lower than first place. They're going to be giving people more in-game currency for their wins and kind of trying to offset these in-game transactions. But getting a pass, I don't think is true. I think the fact is that just not enough people are playing it to care.
Exactly. Ding,
and
ding,
that's
ding.
really the problem.
That's the big thing here, right? And this is what we've talked about before in every one of the shows, and the fact that when something comes to a big game and a big franchise and people talk about it, then everyone in gaming has an opinion about it.
Right.
But when you make a misstep on a title like Need for Speed that does well, but it's similar to even Forza this year, right? They had microtransactions in there that Forza fans were mad about, whereas somebody like me that doesn't care about racing games and isn't involved in that ecosystem, I don't know anything about it. I vaguely remember when the Need for Speed stuff happened and when the reviews were popping, but it's not on the list that when I talk about, hey man, Star Wars fucked it up this year and NBA fucked it up this year, you jump to these giant examples, whereas these are much more, it's similar to Marvel Heroes, right? Where for a lot of people it caught Marvel Heroes, or it caught them off guard that Marvel Heroes was closing. Whereas somebody who's on the subreddits and stuff, I saw this week after week, everybody's like, this is bad. They're not talking. Something's about to happen.
Yeah. Well, and I want to be clear. This doesn't mean that it's not important and that EA shouldn't be responding more publicly. Clearly, Ghost Games is paying attention and looking at their subreddit and keeping tabs on it, and they are making changes because the community has spoken out. Just because it doesn't have, as many people talking about it as Battlefront 2 did, doesn't mean that they should just not fix it.
Oh, no, not at all. But I think this is more where we'll sit there and worry and say that they're just in it for the money. I think this is a good example of no, we're developers and we're making a game and we're trying to serve an audience, and clearly we misstepped here and we fucked it up, so we're trying to fix it, especially when it's the core audience talking to us.
Right.
When it doesn't need to be a giant swirling movement that has articles in the Wall Street Journal about the head of Disney Consumer Affairs sitting down and being like, you're selling the franchise, which is what got reported today about EA.
Right. You know, it was interesting because I got reached out to by the CBC, Canadian
I saw
News,
this,
last week because they asked me if I could, give a public comment, and I was like, you know what, I want to do this because I feel like if I don't say something, they're going to go to somebody else who will maybe misrepresent the situation, and I kind of felt compelled to make sure that when they were talking to someone, that they were talking to somebody who works in the games business and who's going to say it right. And when we originally did our pre-interview call, they kept trying to point me into a direction of lining of questioning, and I had to really forcibly push back and be like, you don't understand the situation and why people are upset, because they really wanted to focus on the gambling aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not why people are mad about this game. Not to say that that's not an issue that people aren't talking about, because we've talked about it on this show quite 100%. A bit this year. However, I said the most important thing here is that there's a fine line between a company like EA putting these kinds of transactions in a game to help supplement the cost of development and then putting them in there just to make higher profits. And clearly we're seeing they've crossed that line. And that's why people are upset. And that's why people are mad, because they said, you know what, I'm happy to pay for a game. Well, most gamers out there are happy to pay for the game. But I'm not happy to pay for the game and then for you to keep asking me for money after the fact.
Sure, I paid you the $60. Let me play the game.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned Marvel Heroes there. Let's jump to Matt. Matt writes in to kindafunny.com/KEFGD and says, hey, Greg and Andrea. With the closing of Marvel Heroes Omega at the end of the year, many gamers have been complaining that they were screwed out of the money that they spent on the game. While I'm not so sure I feel that strongly, I did invest a decent amount of money on the game and still have quite a bit of premium currency that no longer has value. A recent visit to /r/Marvel Heroes led me to several threads where people were reporting getting full refunds from Microsoft due to the game shutting down only 6 months after release. While I don't necessarily feel like I was owed the money back, I also would rather move that money towards other games that are continuing to be supported. As such, I contacted Microsoft and was given a full refund for all purchases with very little effort. It also seems that Sony is now beginning to offer the refunds as well, after quite a vocal outcry from PlayStation fans. Do you feel like this is simply a customer-friendly move on the part of Microsoft and now Sony, or is there something else going on behind the scenes that has resulted in these refunds being issued? Parentheses, contracts, legal action, etc. Also, we heard Gary's opinion on the issue last week, but also wanted to hear from you guys. Are gamers right in feeling like they were screwed by such a sudden closure of the game? Sorry for writing in and the first draft of the Old Testament. Keep up the good work, Matt. You were great, Matt. Don't worry about it.
This is a very complicated issue, but I understand why people are upset. I was upset that I sunk a bunch of money into silver in Destiny, and then I couldn't bring that silver with me to Destiny 2, that it's now just sitting in my Destiny account, as the Eververse in Destiny, never going to be spent, because why would I buy anything else? But I mean, I get why that's a different case, because I technically could still go back and keep playing that game. And I'm sure there are still people playing that game. This is like they're shutting the game down and now there's nowhere for you to use it. I think the case that he's talking about probably doesn't apply to the wide majority of players. I'm guessing that most people didn't sink a ton of money into their
Marvel
account.
Heroes, free to play. So like when you get in there, it is, did you want to buy Guardians of the Galaxy? You can earn in-game currency to unlock them eventually. Do you want a different costume? Stuff like that.
Right, but generally in a free-to-play game, you spend your currency pretty quickly, right? You buy a pack and then you probably spend it out. At least in my experience, where I spent money in free-to-play games, I've spent a lot of money, but it wasn't just sitting in the currency in my in-game bank. I was actively using it.
Sure.
So I wonder how many people this really applies to.
I mean, is there contracts, legal action? I think it's a customer-friendly move. I think this is something, when we talked about it on here, and we've talked about it since then in Reader Mail, I was very much like, for me personally, I was like, I know the risk I take when I play these games. I know that I'm putting money in and the blah, 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 they could go away. And I feel that there is responsibility for the customer, but clearly it sucks. This is a shitty situation. So, I mean, it's a good PR move, for Microsoft and Sony to be like, all right, cool. If you feel like you need to get this back, we understand that and we want to be there for you.
I agree with you, because I would bet that there's a terms and conditions you have to agree to
sure.
when you sign up for this game that says that they could change
If this
with or without warning.
Exactly. This can end at any point. And then are gamers right in feeling they were screwed by such a sudden closure of the game? I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. This is one of those situations where I personally feel more for the developer than I do the gamer. And that's I feel bad for Gazillion as a fan of this game, as somebody who legitimately enjoyed and played Marvel Heroes a ton. And like I've said before, I had codes for the characters, so I never put my own money. Well, I put my own money in at launch when I bought the $150 Founders Pack out of pocket. But in terms of Marvel Heroes Omega, right, I never had to. I think if I'd put, like I know I brought this up before, if DC Universe Online closes tomorrow, I'm going to be fucking devastated and not regret the money I've put into them year after year after year and not even played. I just want to make sure all my characters there and all my vaults are there and everything is the same way. I think it's just a toss-up where I feel way worse for Anthony Gallegos and everybody who's going to, not that Gazillion's closing, but what else are they working on? I don't know. I assume layoffs come from this. There's got to be a lot of uncertainty and turmoil over there. And that's what, for me, speaks louder than, oh man, I had $50 in G money in there or whatever the hell they call their gazillion dollars or whatever. But again, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. If you had all that money in there or you invested all this money thinking you were going to go into there, it's different. I don't think there's a bad way to feel. Are gamers right in feeling they were screwed? Sure. I mean, you're right to feel however you want to feel. This is a shitty situation for both sides of the equation. It sucks that Disney swooped in and was just like, no. And I don't know how. And the thing I've wrestled with after hearing feedback from the audience of like, well, Greg, like, we spent money on this, and you said it was, that you knew about it from the subreddit, but there's plenty of gamers who probably went in there and bought this stuff and didn't know that. How should they feel it? It's just a complicated situation of, I don't know, and I don't know how Gazillion should have messaged that earlier if they thought there were rumblings that something was going to happen and Disney was going to close them. Like,
you can't really message that early, though.
And that's my problem.
Because then you're putting doubt into your product.
100%.
And then what if it never comes to fruition? And then all these people got nervous for nothing. I mean,
that's why I think Sony and Microsoft giving refunds right now is the best case scenario you can have for this. Of just like, hey, I don't think Gazillion could have done anything to give you a heads up beforehand. Hey, it sucks that Disney closed this game. Hey, it sucks people's lives are on the line now in terms of jobs and, breadwinning capacity. And yeah, it sucks that you put your own hard-earned money into this expecting to be able to play for years and years, I guess, and it didn't happen. It's just a shitty situation.
God, I feel like Disney does this a lot. Think about all the people who sunk hundreds of dollars into Disney Infinity figures.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, goodbye.
Yeah.
I have a giant box of Disney Infinity figures in my house, and I'm like, what am I going to do with these?
Well, see, yeah, but that's the other thing too of like, right, when I was buying in Target all my Lego Dimensions guys, I was like, how much am I really going to use these guys? And now it's that point where it's dead. It's like, all right, it's on my to-do list at home to go through the toolboxes of toys I have and pick the ones I want for like on desks or something, and then just trash the rest.
So sad.
I know. This is what it is. We should all just be farmers. I don't know what that means. Don't worry about it. Daryl writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, what's up, Greg and Andrea? Black Friday is here, and with the PlayStation Store's huge sale, I'm excited to expand my digital library with some of the great games I've missed over the past year or so. Watch Dogs 2 and Rise of the Tomb Raider are obvious choices, but there are also a few games with really enticing price tags that were not so well received, specifically in the cases of Mass Effect Andromeda, Mafia 3, and Agents of Mayhem. Are any or all of these games worth the low price tag, or should I just go to the quality over quantity route and start preparing for the early releases of 2018? Thanks for the advice and keep up the great content.
Those three are all good
Daryl.
games.
Agents of Mayhem was good.
Arguably great games. I really enjoyed my time with Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah.
I still stand by that they should have made it an online co-op game.
Sure.
But the single player experience is really fun. The different diverse characters that they have, the agents in the game are really interesting, and I like the combat encounters. It does get a little bit repetitive on the back end because some of the encounters feel the same, but the shooting is really like satisfying in that game. So I enjoyed it. I would say if you get it on a discount, I mean, absolutely. Black Friday is great for that. Mafia 3 was actually very well reviewed.
Mafia 3's only problem was how much backtracking and like driving across New Orleans there was, where people were like, this is boring and repetitive, and it's starting to show the seams. That was, everybody loved the story and the characters of Mafia 3. It was just the fact of like, ugh, I'm just doing this again. This is like padding out the game.
Yeah. And
also, timeout, Joey. We're trying, it's Sandwich Run 2.0. If you want to take my phone and see if you can get Gianna Minel, who should be outside in the middle of the intersection, according to this GPS.
And Mass Effect Andromeda, with all of the patches now,
Yeah.
is a significantly better game than when it came out. So all three of these games, not like Game of the Year contenders, obviously,
Sure.
but definitely worth your time if you're interested in these franchises or these characters. And if they're like on sale for $10, you know, if you're getting them at a substantial discount and you've got the time and the desire, I'd say these
Take
are
a
all
shot,
these
huh?
are all great games to try.
Yeah, if a game interests you and you can get it at a price point, for sure, why not? Especially with the hours you'll get out of Mass Effect Andromeda.
I mean, I actually, despite its flaws, I really enjoyed my time with Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, obviously, you guys know that I'm like a self-proclaimed Mass Effect fangirl, but even if you're not, even if you've only played one of the games or you're just tangentially interested, I think that there's a lot of work that went into that game. Certainly many, many hours of gameplay. And if you are an open world RPG fan, you like kind of checking those boxes of all of the different quests and things. There's a lot of things to do in that game. And they introduced some really interesting new characters, but you know, I haven't gone back and played it extensively since the patch, but it's much better now than when I played it from a tech standpoint.
KFGD superfan Javier writes in and says, "Hey guys, what are your plans in terms of gaming for the Thanksgiving break? Enjoy your break and keep fucking that turkey. Greetings from Florida. P.S. Greg, you're wrong. Thanksgiving is a great holiday." It's not that great of a holiday. It's a fine holiday. It's no Halloween. Just saying.
You know what I love about Thanksgiving? It's a day that we as Americans all celebrate together regardless of
Faith.
Exactly. And that's like the difference between this and so many other major
Sure, that's a great
holidays.
point.
It doesn't have the kind of like razzle dazzle that the 4th of July has.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
another one of those holidays that we all get to celebrate together as a country. But I like how it's so family focused and food focused.
Oh yeah,
I really
food.
like food.
Everybody being a glutton is the best way to do it. What are you playing this break?
So my mom is in town, so I probably won't get to play too much since I'll be entertaining, but definitely want to try out the Planet of the Apes
Hell yeah.
Last Frontier game.
That's my plan for tonight. Get home.
I
cuddle up on the
just
couch.
got Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune combo pack.
Nice, yeah.
For PS4, which
were
by the
playing-
way, if you didn't know, is out now. From
We did a live
Ubisoft.
stream last week with Wheel of Fortune. It's
Oh,
fun.
nice.
It's fun.
So probably gonna play some of that. But as far as like games that I need to like sink more time into, I really need to get more moons. Need to play more Mario.
Yeah.
So that's like the number one on my list. But I probably am going to dip my toes back into Paragon at some point.
Don't do it! For me, it's going to be Apes tonight. Yeah, jumping in there. How long did they talk in your gameplay session about how long a run of the game is? Is it movie length, or am I dealing with like it's going to be 8 hours?
No, I don't think it's 8 hours. I think it's closer to movie length, but
Okay.
like more like Gone with the Wind.
Sure.
Like 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You know?
I was going to say Batman v Superman extended cut, but it's even longer than that.
Well, I mean, obviously I haven't played the final version,
Sure.
so I don't know for sure. It could be shorter. It depends on how much time you take grappling with some of these decisions you're gonna have to make.
Apes rule.
Do you
Kill
want to
everybody else.
have like debates about them, or do you want to just pick and move
Me and
on?
Jen pacing the floor, yelling at each other, Portillo caught in the middle. Apes tonight for me. Then Batman episode 3 is out. I didn't put that on the thing today. Telltale Batman episode 3 is out today as well. Jen hates that series, I think, so I'll have to play that when she's not looking. And then Destiny. I want to knock out those 2 trophies, so I need to get my trials in this weekend.
Let me know if you want to play.
Are you good? You good at trials?
Am I good at trials?
Like, because I'm bad at trials. Like, I
I'm
need a
bad at
team of like,
trials,
I need like 2 dead shots out there, and me just like cowering, trying
Well,
not
then
to
you
die.
should probably
Or another
play
dead
with
shot, too.
Griffin.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That, and then the other one is the Nightfall Prestige. But I heard in the comments of today that it's an easy one this week, so I should try
Oh,
that. I don't
okay.
know which one it is, but I'm gonna try to get that knocked out. And then I need to double back. Oh, I'll be playing Animal Crossing on the phone every time I have a spare moment, I guess. But then I need Wolfenstein and Call of Duty. I need to get more time sunk into them for sure, because I stalled out on them just because other things came along. But both games that I really like that I need to get back to. Mark Clark writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, Greg's game of the year. Greg, stop lying to yourself. We all love Mario Odyssey, and it's one of the best games of the year, but shouldn't your game of the year go to the game you've spent hours on and arguably had the most fun with, Friday the 13th? Be the outlier, Greg. Listen to your heart. Much love, Mark Lark. Or Mark Lark, no Marco. I hear you, bro. Trust me, that is a true statement. Probably the most hours I've put into a game this year has to be Friday the 13th. Most fun is a hard thing to quantify. But it goes back to my argument back in the day at IGN when I had reviewed all the Walking Dead games and cried at the end of Walking Dead Season 1 and been so in love with Walking Dead Season 1. And when the argument, again, I don't remember what beat it that year, but when the argument came down to whatever it was versus Walking Dead Season 1, I had to stand up and be like, y'all know I love this game. Y'all know I reviewed them and think they're great. This cannot be Game of the Year. Like with all the technical glitches in this game, the slowdown, the crashes, the saves getting eaten, we cannot award this Game of the Year. It has to go to a game, because Game of the Year for me is always the game that in 10 years somebody's going to be able to go back to and understand that was the pinnacle of gaming for the year of whatever year we're talking about. So 2017 this year. And trust me, as much as I love Friday the 13th, as much as I will be playing Friday the 13th, probably as much as I played it this year, next year, oh God, all the crashes and bugs and problems in that game. You trying to figure out what beat Walking Dead that year?
Yes.
Game of the Year?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, The Walking Dead, the game won that year.
No, not for IGN.
Oh, not for IGN. That's from the Game Awards. Let me see here. Specifically at IGN, it was Journey. That was DICE. The DICE Awards.
Well, that would count then. No, Journey won IGN's Game of the Year, so that would be it. So
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yep, it is. Here it is. Best of 2012 Journey.
Oh, here, I put this in here too. The final question isn't a question at all. It's a valiant effort 21. So it's not a question, but a suggestion. This week is the best week to get the Prestige Nightfall trophy in Destiny 2, Greg. Get on it. I'm on it. Got to get a team of elite people to drag me through that as well. Now it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD. Give me your name, your username, your platform of choice, and why you need help in a game. I read it here. The best friends come and play with you. Everybody has a good time. Today, Sean needs help on PlayStation 4. Sean's PSN name is ShawnieB009. So let's just spell that out for you. SHAUNIEB009. I recently started playing Overwatch again, and I am looking for fellow best friends to play with. I also play Rainbow Six Siege and can't wait to jump back into the new White Noise season. Feel free to add me for some good fun gaming. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Love you guys. We love you too. ShawnieB009. Andrea?
Yes, Greg.
While we do the show live, we ask people to write in to kindafunny.com/you're wrong to correct us on facts we screw up. No editorializing. Keep your questions for kindafunny.com/KFGD. What did we get wrong today?
Well, Cribby, I don't know how to say that. A few episodes ago, Greg referenced EBITDA and didn't know what it was. What is it? It's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's one indicator of a company's financial performance and is used as a proxy for the earnings potential of a business, although doing so has its drawbacks. Further, EBITDA strips out the cost of debt capital and its tax effects by adding back interest and tax to earnings. Whoa. I don't know what any of that
Whatever
means.
here, Poindexter accountant, man. Get out of here. See you on Goldman Sachs Street.
K-Bab says Inkling and Squid Kid are both correct terms for the aquatic race in Splatoon.
Nailed it.
Connoisseur Gamer says Forza 7 has loot boxes, but you can't purchase them with real money.
My apologies. I knew that there was a problem with Forza in the vein of everything we've talked about.
That might be it. Let me refresh the page just to be sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd be thankful for that.
Oh, the Nightfall.
God fucking damn it.
The Nightfall specifically, according to the Waterman, is the Pyramidion, and it's on EO.
Does that ring a bell to you?
Yes.
Is that easy?
Yeah, I really like that strike actually. It being easy or not depends on what the modifiers are. So he didn't put what the modifiers are, but
I've played all, all the stuff before. When I jump in, I'm like, all right, this thing again. But I just, the modifiers, I always switch it up. I'll get my crew, my Suicide Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kinda Funny Games Daily. Your final one for the week. If you're in America, happy Thanksgiving. If you're not in America, sucks to be you, huh? 3 extra days of work? Suckers. You know what I mean? Freedom. Remember, Kinda Funny Games Daily is your nerdy video game news show. It posts each and every weekday on a variety of platforms. Twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. Podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get it, thank you for watching or listening to it. We love you very much. Remember, you have to vote for Andrea. Trending Gamer of the Year. Just go to Trending Gamer Vote on Google. Go to Bitly, vote Andrea Renee. Go to Facebook and do it there. GameAwards.com. There's a million ways. We won't be here to remind you the next 5 days. So you need to do it on your own because we got to do this. You want this Steven kid to win? No. Andrea's got to win.
He got some really good news today.
Did he?
Yes.
I haven't been on Twitter.
He has been in the running for a special drug that is used to treat his specific condition, and he got approved for it today.
That's awesome. Round of applause.
Really
Steven
excited
from
for
Able
him.
Gamers. We love him very, very much. If you vote for him, it's okay too. But if you vote for this Dr. Disrespect person, I also hear he's very talented. I don't know. There's people.
This guy has a Lamborghini, I guess.
Really?
Apparently. I don't know if it's actually his. I hope it is.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, you don't have a Lamborghini.
I don't.
So get her the trophy. How about that instead, huh? Sounds like these people, they got all the things they want. You know, get it for her. Gamescast this afternoon. Andy Serkis things up. Anything for what's good this week they need to be watching for?
So if you are a patron, we have 2 pieces of Patreon exclusive content going live this week. We have a Patreon exclusive video, which you can still get in on if you go to patreon.com/what'sgoodgames. We make hand turkeys.
Oh.
The girls love doing crafts, and it always makes the studio a hot mess. But Britt did help me clean up this time. And then we do a secret segment for a special tier where we talk about some of our past jobs. And man, some of the stories get really, really interesting, particularly involving a bunch of reptiles, which you might know.
That's what I was going to guess. I'm like, let me guess what Steimer's was.
So if you guys are interested in that, you can head on over to our Patreon page and find out more about those. But there will be no stream this week because of Thanksgiving. But we're recording the podcast early tonight.
Nice.
That will come out as planned on Black Friday.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, until Monday, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Let's eat sandwiches.
Sandwiches.